How you doing? I hope you're well. Thank you for joining me. Straight to the point, I guess. Um, why I don't smoke weed. This is a topic that it doesn't really flow with my channel, I guess, It's more philosophical channel, but I thought I might add something that gives you me in essence. Now, for background, I grew up with people around me using weed, marijuana as we want to call it. Um, I guess I've never really found a fond fascination about it. I never found it's never caught my interest. It's never caught my attention in any way, shape, or form. I always saw it as something that was unnecessary and not practical. Now, I understand that there are some people that use it for these medical reasons, but then you have the vast majority of it who abuses it. And I am against abusing anything, because then it gets to a point where these people who abuse it every day, daily consumption, daily users, like I'm talking about every single day, you can't go without it. Then it just becomes an addiction that you refuse to admit you're addicted to. That is a pattern that I recognize with these people, the users of marijuana, those who are constantly using it. And I'm not calling anybody out, but this is more so something that you need to establish within yourself. You know, a thing that I just don't like about it is that people rely on something outside of themselves to feel a certain way within themselves. Let's go smoke some weed so that we can relax, so that we can chill, so that we can have a good time. Why do I have to do that to feel a certain way within myself? Why do I have to go out of my way, buy something, smoke something, to exist in a certain state of myself, in a certain state of awareness? If you ask me, I believe that the best to ever be is the conscious state, is the sober state. I've never smoked weed, and I know people are gonna say, oh, but if you've never done it, what gives you the right to talk about it? If you never done crack, what gives you the right to talk about crack? You can say that's extreme, you can say that's not a fair comparison, but we we talk about so many things in life that we have no experience about. So why get so defensive about this one thing? Why do you attach yourself to this thing so firm and so strict that the moment somebody calls you out on your actions, the moment somebody calls you out on your patterns of addiction, you get so hostile. You get defensive because you know deep down within yourself that you are doing something that you have lost control of. You've lost control of it. Initially, you did it to feel a certain way. You did it because it was fun, cool, this and that. But to the point that it abducts you, it takes control of your daily life, that's when it becomes a problem, right? We can all agree on this. Nobody likes cigarettes why? Because you get addicted to nicotine, but we like to overlook the fact that you can also get addicted to weed. Now, we can even say that addiction doesn't exist and it's just a mindset thing. People have weak mindsets, but I'm not even going to go into depth in that because I don't have the capacity to talk about that. I'll just sound very ignorant. But I'm just talking about my personal experience with marijuana, with weed. I've never liked it, never caught my attention. It just isn't for me. There are things in this life that are for some people, and there are things in this life that aren't for some people. And that's one of the things that just isn't for me. I'd rather work on myself sober, try to elevate my consciousness sober, and try to exist in that state of being, that state of essence, sober. I don't see the need in trying to use something that isn't gonna give you a temporary, it gives you a temporary state. It gives you a temporary feeling. Why would I choose something that is temporary over something that is eternal? You understand? Something that is forever, something that I can work on and establish within myself forever. But I'll choose the temporary thing because it's easy, right? And we can see this in people that go to the gym. They take these peptides, they take these steroids. Why? Because it's easy. It's the easy route. They refuse to go the hard way. They refuse to do the things that they need to do in order to get the results that they want. Why? Because they're lazy. Because they find the convenience of something. You know, that's all it is. It's about convenience. It's convenient for you to do this so that you can feel a certain way. And most of the time people do it, from my experience, they don't change no way. They don't change no way. Either they get really weird, they get really quiet. It's just weird. It's just a weird energy that, respectfully, I don't like being around. They become weird. Got this mosquito chasing me. It's not for me. It's not for me, but if you know, I'm human enough to respect people and not judge them or look at them in any different light. I can accept if this guy likes smoking weed, cool. I'm not gonna judge him. I'm not gonna judge him. It isn't worth it because, I mean, what do we gain, right? What do we gain? What do we gain? Talking about somebody else's life and I don't know. Again, this is just personal experience. I'm not calling anybody out. If you feel called out from any of this, then maybe it's a sign to look within and reflect within yourself, because I'm just talking about my personal experience. So if you get offended by this, it's all on you, not me. But yeah, I believe that especially now with weed being so popularized, I feel like it's more popularized than ever now. It's just, how can you trust something like that? They just push it out and push it out and push it out and push it out. You don't know what the hell you're smoking nowadays. Excuse me, that's another topic. But yeah, I find it very lazy, and I find it an excuse. I feel like people who do it make excuses for it. Excuses for having to do it. It's 5 in the morning. Why the hell are you smoking? First thing you wake up to do? First thing you wake up to do is smoke? Are you joking? It's just ridiculous. That's when it becomes an addiction. That's when it becomes a dependency. You don't want to depend on anything outside of yourself to feel a certain way, and I need you guys to understand this. The moment you begin to depend on something that is outside of you is the moment you lose the very aspect of you. It's the moment you lose the touch of yourself. You lose your essence. And it's the same thing with people who eat mushrooms. These people eat mushrooms all the time. And they think, oh, if I eat this mushroom, I'll have an ego death. No, you won't. You will not have an ego death. Why are you trying to do a shortcut to something that is far deeper than what you can even imagine? You eat a mushroom a couple of times and then now you say you killed your ego. You don't even ever kill your ego. You understand your ego because your ego is a part of you. So therefore you're understanding yourself. You don't kill a part of yourself. You come to terms with that part of yourself. You understand that part of yourself. And you learn to love that part of yourself. People are willfully ignorant. Willfully ignorant. They see this guy say this, they see this guy say that, and then they think they're right about everything. Do not lose control of yourself to these things that are outside of us. We are made in the image of God. We are one with everything. So understand that everything you're seeking outside of yourself, you can find within yourself. You don't need anything to make you feel any type of way other than yourself. Sit with yourself and breathe. Excuse me, just breathe. Understand yourself. Begin to understand yourself. When things get tough, relax. Take a step back and understand why these things are getting tough, why you're reacting this way. I struggle with it. I'm not perfect. This is why I'm making this video, to document that. I just believe that humans, we get too lazy and we get too dependent, and then we get things outside of us that consume us. Therefore, we become a weed plant, a marijuana plant, operating a human, controlling a human, rather than a human controlling the marijuana plant, if that makes sense. I kind of see it as a robot. And this could be with anything, by the way. This could be with alcohol. This could be with any other drug or addictive. It could even be with masturbation. It could be with pornography. It could be with anything. I'm just talking about this because this is what the essence of the video is about. Marijuana. Yeah, I just think that we have to reflect on our actions. You know, we're not perfect. We're not perfect. Some days are harder than the others. But the essence of it all is that you strive to be better and you strive to do better. You fall back one day, cool. Get back up. Try it again. It's gonna happen. It's gonna keep happening. But it's a matter of resilience. It's a matter of willpower. It's a matter of change. It's a matter of love. If you can see it in your heart, if you can see it in your mind, then you can change anything you want. I think I got off topic there for a bit, but yeah, I hope this, I don't know. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all later.